Oh, we're live. Facebook. Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday. Namaste. God bless. How are all of you? I did it all backwards today, but that's okay. Caught me off guard. Happy Tuesday. Happy National Radio Day to all my radio buddies out there. Yeah, it's been around forever, man. Been around forever. And most notably yesterday, because I wasn't here. Usually I'm here on Mondays. It was my oldest meatball's birthday. So happy 30th. Victoria, she's enjoying some time with her mom now, and the other little meatballs over there. I'll pick her up after the show. I'm going to do some taping with her tonight after here. But I've been holding on to this friggin' thing forever, and a lot of things have been happening with America's Mentor. We're getting our new studio in a couple weeks, so all this stuff, man, we gotta pack it all up and ship it across the parking lot because we're getting a new digs over there, basically 3 times the size as the loft that you guys have seen me here. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the abundance that I receive every day. But this topic, I mean, a lot of us think that we can just apply, that's one of the words out of the quote box tonight, just apply, thought, and it's just going to happen. Well, I got some bad news for you. Indeed, it may happen, but it's going to take a long time. Or if you use the knowledge that I'm giving you from Wallace D. Wattles, it'll happen quickly, very quickly. And I love these notable authors back in the 19 and 1800s. These guys knew, I don't know how, but they knew that applying constant thought on a daily basis, you are going to get the results that you want in your life a lot quicker than, like, how should I say, an employee asked me the other day. One of my employees, now picture this scene. Like if you guys watch like mob movies, there's always the guy in there like Big Paulie or big guy in there. I got a guy that works overnight for me. Been there forever. Big MF. He's just got so big. And he's a recovering addict. And he asked me, I went into work the other day, he jumped in my face, he goes, Jerry, he goes, I want to try hypnosis. I want to see if I can lose some of this weight. My knees are starting to give out. And mind you, he's in his early 40s. I mean, he's starting to deteriorate. That Big Paulie kind of mantra is not working anymore. It's affecting him physically. He goes, I want to try hypnosis. And I said, great. I said, you plan on going weekly? He goes, what do you mean? I said, this is the misconception that today's life has given us. It's going to take a long time to get what you want. If you think you can only do it once or twice or here and there, it's a constant process. Read the biographies of successful athletes, especially. All people see is their cut figure, and they don't realize that behind the scenes, these guys are mentally impressing that cut figure, that success into their lives every single day. And without me journaling every day, I don't know where I'd be right now. Because that is that mental cut I'm doing every single day into my mind on what I want to have, what I want to be, and what I want to do in life. That's imperative. And once he realized that it's not a one-shot thing, believe me, I was hypnotized. And I can honestly say it was an amazing experience for that one time. I was able to see all different colors. It was really cool. If you guys can ever get into a transcendental kind of meditation where somebody hypnotizes you, it's amazing, because basically what they're doing, if they're edified in that and they're really good at it, or is that they're getting you to a focal point, a mental focal point, which in turn, if you keep doing and getting into that mental focal point daily, constantly, repetitiously, I mean, you can only manifest what you're focusing on in that mental focal point. And Wallace Wattles had a great book out, and it's only 40 pages, literally. I mean, this thing I jacked into between my left and right ear, I think 4 or 5 times over the weekend. But out of the quote box tonight from that long banter, and this will make so much sense. A river cuts through rock not because of its power, because of its persistence. Us are kind of rocks in our own way. We got to get through the morass of all that stuff that we've been through in life. And literally, it's like cutting through a rock. But it's doable. I had to swallow, sorry. It's like cutting through a rock, but it's definitely doable. We have to keep doing it on a daily basis for it to happen. Sadly, up here in Connecticut, it affected me emotionally. A lot of people I knew were affected by the floods. You know, floods came through, they took everything away from it. That in how should we say, in mental science, that's called a quantum leap. Literally, you're flooded with all these thoughts that literally expunge what has happened to you in life. If you guys can get to a quantum leap in your life, that's fantastic. That's a paradigm shift. But getting back to my quote, impress out of the is what Wallace Wattles worked on. In his book, I love the fact that he mentioned impress a lot. Impress to produce, affect, and apply with pressure. Those floods that happened up here was immense amount of water cutting through wherever it went through. Our thoughts have that same kind of power if we keep doing it. You keep doing it, the wave is going to get stronger and stronger. And the next word out of what Wallace was speaking about is mentality, mode or way of thought. You keep putting that mental emphasis on who you are every day, and you keep doing that with persistence. And before I get to the book module that I'm going to go into here, I mean, you can't help but to manifest what you want. And that's basically all I've done the past decade, is to get into that impressing that mental mode of who I wanted to be. And what I explained to the big guy at work was, you have to do it daily. You have to do it constantly. And the next day, which is pretty ironic, the next day he approached me and goes, look, I'm excited. My friend and I joined a weight loss club. We're going to do it every other day. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Hypnosis is great for those guys who want to learn how to get into that focal point. But you have to condition your mind on a daily basis to who you want to be, where you want to go, and what you want to do. That alone starts the whole process of evolution. If people think the outside world is going to change them, they have this misconception that the outside world is going to change them. It's inside of us that changes us first. That starts the whole process of our belief in ourselves. And Wallace Wattles, like I mentioned, for your listening pleasure, I am going to show you tonight. And he wrote a really awesome 40-page book back before the turn of the century. You know, Wallace Wattles, 1860 to 1911. And this man wrote an amazing book, How to Get What You Want, which is fantastic. His first, how should we say, paragraph out of that book, I'm going to read you a sentence out of there because it really makes sense. Getting what you want is success, and success is an effect coming from an application of a cause. What's the cause? Your thought about it. Whatever you're trying to bring, how should we say, inadvertently or advertently in your life, you are the start of the process, and the effect is your reality. So what he's getting at with his book, How to Get What You Want, is your constant focus on your cause, your effect, your mentality every single day of what you're trying to bring to fruition. And this is great because few people will understand this, but it all starts within, guys. And I say this a lot on America's Mentor. I say it continuously. Everything starts within and works its way out. People have this misconception that life brings it into you. No, it's you that start the process with your thought. And the more continuous thought on what you want, the more feeling, the more passion you bring to it, you're going to emit the energy to bring it to you in synchronicities, circumstances, and events in your daily life. He goes on to say, if there is failure anywhere of any kind, any kind, it is because the cause was either not sufficient or was not properly applied. Not sufficient was not desired enough, in essence. You're not giving it 100%. And I tell people all the time, what do you want? I want this, I want that. What do you want? What do you truly desire? What's the ultimate outcome for Meatball? I always ask people, what's your ultimate outcome? That's what's sufficient in your life. That's your constant thought. And he goes on to say, or was not properly applied. This is what I was getting at in the very beginning. Not properly applied was you're not giving it your all. You think it's going to come to you. It's a daily process. A daily mental process, or hence conditioning, mental conditioning of your mentality and impressing it constantly into your mind. That is going to start the whole evolution process in your life when you realize you have this power. We all have this power. The development of special faculties to be used of your work is essential. And work is nothing more, in his language back then in the 1800s and 1900s, work is just your desire, your constant daily desire that you're pushing toward. When you realize what you're doing, you realize what you're getting. When you realize what you're thinking, you realize what you're bringing. And he notably mentioned that through the process of your daily mentality. Your daily mentality in life is essential.
You've got mail.
I tell people this all the time. I tell them that it's up to us to decide what we want to have, what we want to be, and what we want to do every day. But he goes on to say in how to get what you want in life. The subconscious mind is the source for which power comes into action. In essence, it starts within us. Now, how should we say that? That backside of us that we're constantly focused on. Our subconscious mind, the faculties or the storehouse of the mind. When you realize your subconscious is controlling everything, your memories, what has happened to you, your experiences, those are guiding you in your daily life. When you can impress new thoughts into that subconscious, hence your faculties, you're going to create a new outlook on life, hence perception. And when you realize that, you'll realize what's going on in your life. If you keep recreating, how should we say, events that you don't want to experience, that's because your subconscious mind is running the show, not your conscious mind, the frontal lobe, the creative source of who you are. It's up to us to choose the front part of our life or the backside of our life every single day to have, be, and do what we want. And when you realize that, you realize it's not an easy process. It's a diligent process per se. But they've been telling us for thousands of years that iron can only sharpen iron. In essence, Proverbs said, whoever tends a fig tree will eat its fruit, and he who guards his master will be honored. Who is its master? Us, ourselves, our thought process. That's the mastermind is what they're talking about. When you realize how truly powerful you are, you realize you're tending your own garden every day with your conscious thought, planting and implanting in your subconscious mind what you want to bring about. And to get what you want, all you have to do is change what you're planting in your garden every day. You have to change what you're constantly thinking about every day. Changing your mental environment will change your physical environment naturally because you're emitting a different energy every day. This is the beauty about life. This is the beauty about transformation. It's an inside job. Happiness, passion, everything in your life is an inside job. It starts there first and sends outward. And when you understand the power that you have, you understand what you're bringing to you in life. So I'll read it to you again. A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. To get to that noggin between your left and right ear is a constant process that you must initiate every single day. To change the storage facility, you've got to add new products, new thoughts, new beliefs, new passions. Whatever you're trying to have, be, and do in life, you can attain that. But how passionate are you about getting to it? Getting to it is your conscious thought every single day. When you can grasp the true power that you have, life becomes really easy. It's not a hard garden to plant. It's a chosen garden to plant. So I gotta go do Kurt's show, guys. I hope this grasped you guys by the balls and realize the freaking power that we have. Don't let the world overwhelm you. Understand, you have the power to change anything. Your health, your wellness, everything you want in life is just one thought away. And when you realize that, guys, you realize where you're going. So happy Tuesday to you. Let me go over and see Kurt. He's starting to ding my little phone here, guys. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. I can't wait for the new studio. I can run some daily reels for you guys, literally in a flash. I can't wait, meatballs, guys. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram, at America's Mentor on Twitter, guys. Guys, please follow me, Jerry Maldonado 2, for unique information to help you to your destination. Much love to the hundreds of new followers, guys. I love you. You guys are awesome, man. So, guys, I'll see you guys soon, man.